welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So in today's video, I do have a double unboxing for you guys. As I said, there's a lot of watches for me to go through. So this is the third double unboxing I've done in the matter of about a few days. So I've got two watches here. One is from Mysterious Code and one is a new brand called Daniel Gorman. They are both from the same store. The store is called Anyada. Now, to kind of jog your memory, Anyada is the same store that bought us the Seek Flammers. So we had two watches of those, really good. Then they also started to venture out into their own brands, and they made the brand Kyo Iris, which I don't know if you guys remember. It was basically copying Boltony watches. I don't think that's going anywhere. So now they have started the new brand called Daniel Gorman, and they've got their own individual store. There's a few watches on there, and they are all Quartz. And in fact, both watches today are Quartz watches. So this addresses a couple of you guys that actually want to see Quartz watches, which are not just chronographs. So I've got one chronograph and one non-chronograph. So let me open these boxes, get all the wrapping, etc. off, so then I can present these to you. We're going to go through specifications, dimensions, prices, and then we will follow up with individual reviews for both these watches. Now, on wrist, I'm going to give you guys a wrist shot today. I don't normally do that, but I've got something very special. I just got myself the Seiko Frost Monster. It's a Gen 3 SBDC 073, and I've been after this for such a long time. If you follow me and you watch this channel and you watch my State of the Collections, this is one of my watches that I've been wanting to get ever since I've seen it, really. So it's been about 2 or whatever years in the waiting, and I got it for a very good price and a very good condition. So yeah, I'm happy. So there we go, check out the Frost Monster. Okay, so back to this unboxing. Let me open them up and we'll be back in a few seconds. So here's the first one, the Mysterious Code, and this is actually very interesting and very relevant considering the review I just did on the X Dow IWC Engineer homage. So this is Mysterious Codes, and I said at the back end of the video that we are going to see a lot more homages with that particular model. As I know, there's already one by Roland, and you've also got one from Mysterious Code. But this is quite a bit different. So this is actually the Seiko VH31 quartz movement, which is why you can see that sweep, which is 4 ticks a second, which I know a lot of you guys do really enjoy that movement because it's a bit of a balance between a quartz and an automatic. And the next thing, the price is £75 in comparison to the Ixendao of £230. Of course, that has a PT5000. Now the question here is going to be on everyone's mind: how does it stack up next to the Ixendao, which is what I'll be doing when I review this. I'll do a kind of mini comparison. So in hand, so far what we can tell is it's made out of full steel. It's got a sapphire crystal. It's got, I think, 50 meters of water resistance, but it does have a screw down crown and also a screw down case back. The crown on this is much easier to maneuver. I think one of the things is, as you can see, it's got a lot of splines on there, but also the fact that it's quartz, so there's barely any resistance to it. It's got some similar features. I think the main ones being the design. Finishing, I can already see some differences where it is different to the X and Dow. But having said that, in hand, what I see on the first impressions, for £75, this is going to be very difficult to beat, I'd say. If you don't want to spend that much money, for £75, it looks kind of okay. So, yeah, it does have a sapphire crystal, as I said, decent water resistance as expected for this style of watch. So in terms of dimensions, we're looking at 40 millimeters across, 10 mil thick, so I think 10.3, and around just under 48 millimeters at the lug to lug, including these sort of or semi-female end links. So that looks very interesting already. Paying a bit more attention to the bracelet, yeah, as I said, there is going to be a clear-cut difference, but for the £75, guys, I think this is done pretty well. It also comes with the same butterfly clasp that we saw in the previous one. Big difference between this clasp and the one on the X-Dow. There's a big difference in the finishing. I can also see split pins on the bracelet. So we are going to see that, right? No way are we going to expect the exact same thing as the X and Dow, even for £75 with the movement, because there's not that much price difference in movement as there is in terms of the case finish. But so far, it's very good, right? So you'll have to wait for the review and the mini comparison. So as I review this watch, I'll go through some of the features which I see are different to the X Dow. But for £75, guys, what I can see already, it looks pretty decent. You also got a whole range of colors. I'm not going to go through them all, but there's a big or very large color palette available. I'll link the store. You can see on screen as well. They do have a lot of colors to choose from. So yeah, even, you don't need to wait for the sales. Like I said, £75 is really good. And so far in hand, I can't feel no sharp edges. I can't feel anything disastrous or see anything disastrous about this. So I'm giving this information because I know some of you guys like to jump the gun. But if you want to wait, hold on for the review. It will take a couple of weeks to get here because I do have a bit of a backlog. So that's, as I said, Mysterious Code. I've not looked at any of the watches. I know they have been around. This is, I think, the first watch I am looking at from Mysterious Code. So yeah, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already so you can keep up to date with these. So now let's put this away. Let's start off with the new brand, Daniel Gorman. So the next one we have is Daniel Gorman, as I said. So this is a new brand from the guy who basically runs Anyard the store. So here's the box. Let's give it a bit of a look. Solid box. You got the name printed on there. It is cardboard. You got documentation in there which basically is worthless. You got warranty card with like a stamped number on there. Again, it won't give us anything. And then you've got this kind of cushion which is okay, solid, and it does a good job of protecting the watch, and it's somewhat decent. Very decent when I tell you the price as well. So Daniel Gorman, the name, fair play to him, right? I give him that for trying. It's good that we've got a name that makes sense. It's a Western sounding name. Unfortunately, obviously us guys in the West, we're conditioned a certain way. So we need to know names which we can pronounce and they make sense to us. So the watch in hand is a homage to the PRX. It is actually Quartz. It's got minimal water resistance, so I wouldn't even talk about that. I think like 5 meters, or well, 5 ATMs or 50 meters. It may as well be 5. So this houses the Japan VD53 movement. I don't know if that's a Seiko movement or a Miyota movement. I suspect it may be Miyota, but I'll do some more digging into that before I do the full review. You've got 2 color options. You've got a blue with white subdials, and then you've got this white with this rose gold hour markers and rose gold hands, and of course rose gold on the subdials. So I went for this choice. It's quite interesting. You do have like a brush dial as well, so it's nice to kind of see. Let me just drop down the glare a bit, guys. So hang on. Yeah, I think that should improve the visuals there slightly. Yeah, so further specifications, you don't have a sapphire crystal. I've confirmed that. I think it's mineral glass. See, I want to say steel, but I don't know. It might be some other kind of steel metal used, because one thing in hand, it's very rattly. You can hear that? Sounds hollow, but it weighs around 130 grams, so I don't really know what to make with that. It does definitely sound and feel different. So far, what I can see on the finishing, it seems to be finished pretty well. It's got the standard stuff you're looking at, very soft brushing, polished highlights present, polished pushers. And I think the steel on here with all these broad links, they're finished okay. You got straight brushing, but I can already see the cuts or the cutouts of the links, they're not exactly uniform. It's not very precise, but I think at wrist length, it's not really noticeable. But one thing is that sound. You've got a butterfly clasp to it as well. The price is crazy. It's £57, so under £60 you've got a Quartz PRX homage with a chronograph. And it looks pretty much okay. Like I said, for £57, there's only so much we can expect. Yes, and it does say mineral glass on there. So, credit to the name choice. It makes sense. I don't feel any type of way towards that. It's a pretty decent design, priced really well and very competitive. It puts it right in the fine line of Pagani designs and brands of that nature. So yeah, it's a very clean dial design. I can see some micro detailing on the handset. It's a very decent handset. Of course, they can make some things nicer if they kind of take away from other aspects of the watch. But the bracelet is by far one of the things standing out, because I can just hear a non-stop sort of hollow rattle. So yeah, we'll see how we get on with this. So I'll do the full review on this in a couple of days, weeks, whatever, how long it takes me. So this, and I'll also link this watch within the description. Check out the store. They've got, I think, the more popular homage watches, but they're all in quartz. So if you did want to watch with that, the chronograph feature, which is quartz, like a pick up and go, they're all priced in the similar category. I think they're well below £80, more around the £60 mark. You've got some Explorer 2 homages, etc. So please check them out. Let me know what you think, or if there's anything you want me to review from there, because like I said, I know this guy now, so he'll send me watches over for me to check out. So dimensions, 40mm on case diameter, pretty standard, so it is a 40mm version. I would have liked to see a 38 or a 36. I think that would have fit better, obviously. You've got a 10mm thickness, which is pretty decent, and an overall lug to lug of 52mm because of those integrated links. So that's it for me today, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Keep up with all these reviews that I'm getting out, and thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you on the next video.